It's been over 6 years since we've gotten a new A$AP Rocky project, but for some reason the hype for his music feels kind of deflated. The singles he's put out have gotten pretty mixed reviews so far from fans and critiques alike. But the music isn't actually the problem. There's something much bigger at play. A whole phenomenon that has slowly crept its way into music and taken over each artist one at a time like some kind of deadly disease. This phenomenon was the cause of Big Sean's album flop. It made Future and Metro Boomin cancel multiple shows during their tour, and now it's caused A$AP to push back his album. And although the future looks bleak for rap, there's one glimmer of hope that fans can hold on to. Given fans haven't had a new A$AP project in over 6 years, you think they'd be at the edge of their seats with anticipation for Don't Be Dumb. But instead, the vast majority were left underwhelmed with the rollout. His first single, Hijack, got pretty mixed reviews, and in an attempt to get more buzz for it, A$AP released 3 teasers for just the music video alone. 3. And then finally the music video came and it was fine. His next single, Taylor Swift, was better and came with it an insane music video, but the song and video itself had been leaked for years, so Rocky knew it would be successful. It was a safe bet. After this, A$AP Rocky got J. Cole on his next song. Any rap fan knows that a J. Cole feature is an instant hit.
Grippy.
But still, even with J. Cole's feature, the song just didn't hit the same as Rocky's music had in the past. All in all, the rollout was pretty disappointing, and other than diehard fans, I don't think anyone really knew A$AP's album was coming out in just 2 weeks. So with no other choice, A$AP decided to delay the album. So what the hell is going on? Is A$AP just not as good of an artist as he once was? To everyone, it seemed like him delaying the album was just a response to the underwhelming reception he got with his new music. But in actuality, there's something much bigger at play, and it's unavoidable. From Schoolboy Q to Big Sean to Childish Gambino to even the biggest rappers Kendrick, J. Cole, and Drake. They've all felt it, and there's no stopping it. Even though A$AP Rocky has had a disappointing year with his resurgence back into music, so has every other big rapper. The numbers don't lie. Check this out. This year, Schoolboy Q's Blue Lips sold 34,000 units, Childish Gambino's Bando Stone sold 35,000, Big Sean's Better Me Than You sold 22,000, and Polo G's Hood Poet sold 24,000. And this is how much they sold with the albums that came right before these. Then looking at some of the biggest rappers today, we see similar trends with their projects. Aside from Tyler, who only had a slight increase from his last album to his most recent one, everyone else has seen declines. But it's not like there are new rappers selling tons of albums either. I mean, some of the quote hottest and up and coming rappers are having embarrassingly low debuts with their projects. So again, we ask, what the hell is going on? Are rappers just getting worse? Do people just not like rap music anymore? Yes. To both. For practically the last 15 years, we've had the same guys and girl at the top. We haven't seen a superstar come along after these people other than maybe Travis Scott. And it's not really natural to have an artist sustain themselves at the top of a genre like this for so long. I mean, the most exciting thing to happen in rap for the last 5 years was when 2 of these guys who were pushing 40 went head to head. This just shows how few of rappers have had an impact since these guys came onto the scene back in 2010. The rappers before them also didn't have nearly as long of a stint. Artists like Eminem, 50 Cent, Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, and Kanye were at the top for a max of maybe like 10 years. Well, Ye and Jay-Z maybe a little bit longer. But there just really hasn't been anything new in hip-hop that has commanded all of the attention. Sure, we had the Migos with their unique flow, and the 2016 class with their stamp on music, but no one has really stayed around for longer than a few years. So like those guys I mentioned earlier who released their projects this year and quote-unquote flopped in terms of sales, A$AP has to face the inevitable, which is a similar reality to someone like Schoolboy Q faced earlier this year with his album.
There's been a lot of conversation about like hip-hop being dead, like in sales and everything. Like, what's your opinion on that?
I mean, it is cooked. It's cooked, but the sales thing, I mean, that shit been stopped. The same 6 artists that stream crazy good, you know.
Yeah.
Now the streaming sites are gonna act like, oh yeah, hip hop is still the biggest shit. It's like, bro, it's the same 6 artists.
It's not like Schoolboy's album Blue Lips was bad either. In my opinion, it was better than his last album Crash Talk, but somehow managed to sell less than half. When A$AP first announced his album, it was set to release 2 months later on August 30th. But the rollout had been pretty lackluster and barely anyone even knew he had a new album coming. When he did delay it, he claimed it was because of sample clearances and leaks. But outside of the track and music video Taylor Swift, there weren't really any leaks. The much more logical explanation is that ASAP just read the writing on the wall and decided there wasn't enough hype for it, so he had to push it back. However, let's just assume in another world ASAP did release this album on August 30th. Based on the success of his rollout thus far and the success of his contemporaries this year, ASAP's album probably would have flopped. ASAP is a pretty unique rapper in the genre, in terms of him having a super strong brand, and much of that is attributed to his looks and charismatic personality, plus he's with one of the biggest superstars in the world. So outside of rap, he has his own alcohol, collaborations with Gucci and Dior, a brand deal with Puma, an active campaign with Bottega Veneta, a Vans collection, as well as his own creative agency, OG. So the guy has a lot of ventures outside of music that keeps his pockets full. I mean, really, he would never need to drop new music and he'd be just fine. But again, back to the situation where ASAP had released his album and it flopped. All these business ventures that I listed out would have suffered. Any momentum ASAP had at that time would have been killed with the subpar album. But him holding out for 6+ years with this album is something I like to call the Frank Ocean strategy. Before getting into what the Frank Ocean strategy is, I want to plug our sponsor for today, LALAL.AI. I wouldn't plug a product unless I believed in it, and LALAL.AI I do. I mean, I use this product for every single video I've made. There's a website I go to in order to provide the background music on the videos that you watch. A lot of times I have a specific song that I want to use for the background of my video, but I can't find the instrumental anywhere online. When this happens, I use LALAL.AI to isolate the music from the vocals and then simply download the music by itself, and voila, I have the instrumental. With LALAL.AI's ability to isolate vocals, bass, drums, and many other components within a song, it's a great tool for artists, but also it can be used for any creative. They have a new feature to remove echo and reverb, which is huge for making your audio sound super crisp. It's really simple. All I have to do is drag my audio in here, wait a few seconds for it to process, press play, and bam, now my audio is much more crisp with the reverb and echo removed. I've only touched on a few of the features that LALAL.AI provides, but there's much more. On their website, they offer a bunch of different pricing plans, one being the starter plan, just to make sure it's something you want to use without dishing out a bunch of cash. In this video's description, you can find a referral link, which really helps our channel stay afloat financially if used. Okay, that's the plug for the sponsor today. Now back to the video, and more specifically, the Frank Ocean strategy. It's called the Frank Ocean strategy. The idea is that someone like Frank Ocean has built up so much hype by not releasing music and is still coasting off the success of his previous work. He leverages that momentum towards his other ventures that keep money flowing into his pockets. So until that momentum dies, he doesn't have to release anything. And if anything, it'd be dumb for him to release something while he still has hype, because there's much more risk associated with him flopping and losing out on all that buzz. ASAP saw this firsthand with his own rollout and decided to pump the brakes. As I've alluded to throughout this video, it seems like hip-hop is dying. The underwhelming reception has not really been ASAP's fault. But then why? Why is hip-hop dying? Other genres are doing just fine, and if anything, they're having great years. Well, hip-hop is a pretty unique genre. Of popular ones, it's relatively new. Originating in Harlem during the 70s, since then its popularity has been exponential, and right now we're seeing the bubble get to a point where it's about to pop. In the last 5 or so years, we've seen so many new artists come in and pretty much use hip-hop as a launching pad to boost their own platforms. It feels like there's a genuine lack of respect for the genre, and rather it's seen as a means to an end. A way to get popular, establish a following, and then use that to make money off something other than music. And this has caused a lot of crap to come in and basically exploit the genre for their own personal gain. A lot of the popular artists coming in today are just trend chasing. They lack any respect, knowledge, or skill. And as listeners, we let this happen. And the way that we consume music through viral sounds and streaming allows it to happen to a greater extent than ever before. The art of making an album is just not that important. It's not something casual listeners are interested in, so casual artists aren't interested in making one. Instead, those artists place much more emphasis on having a viral moment and then cashing in on it. Tyler, the Creator, really hit the nail on the head with his most recent interview with Mav Carter.
And there's so many niggas out right now that aren't musicians that are getting treated like musicians because they make meme records or whatever. And I'm like, bro, it's niggas out here that's really special, really aliens, really talented, really putting in the work. And y'all niggas giving this dip fuck who these niggas publicly will be like, I don't give a fuck about music. I just do this shit for money. Like,
This is a huge reason why in the last 10 years, the genre just hasn't progressed much. And because of that, we're in a bit of an awkward place, where the rappers who are dominating the genre are getting older and less relevant, a la Schoolboy Q, Big Sean, A$AP Rocky, Kendrick, etc. And at the same time, there isn't really anyone in line to take the torch and carry it forward. So yes, the genre is dying, but it won't ever die. There still is in fact hope. With the rap bubble at a point where it's about to explode, it's already started to lose market share to other genres. Genres like pop, EDM, and country. And this is actually kind of a good thing. With its popularity declining, we'll see less number-chasing rappers coming in and saturating the space, taking away from true artistry that may have the potential to push the needle forward. We're already seeing these rappers leave. An artist like Post Malone dropped a rap album back in 2022. It didn't do very well, selling 121,000 its first week, so he jumped ship over to country, a genre killing right now, and his last project sold 250,000, more than doubling what he did on his rap album. I really liked what this commenter had to say about rap waiting for its Nirvana moment, which will eventually happen, it's just gonna take time. I mean, nothing can stay at the top forever. What goes up must come down, and that down is needed to grow. Just like in sports, there isn't one team that can be dominating forever. Eventually they'll be dethroned and have to retreat in order to rebuild something new. And that's where we're at with rap right now. So don't worry, it'll come back eventually. Fresh and exciting. Two words that haven't been used in the genre for so long. For A$AP Rocky though, what's his best move? I say drop the album. He has to face the reality of the situation eventually, and just holding out any longer seems pointless. I go into more detail about why A$AP's album has taken so long from his last album Testing in this video here, so check that out, but essentially he's had some legal issues going on that could be really detrimental if proven guilty, and his trial is set for October 21st. So I expect the album will come sometime before then, but if not, I don't know if we're going to be getting the album this year, because it's likely not to release until after the trial is finished. If you watched this long, I really appreciate it, and let me know what you think about the state of hip-hop. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you have another take? Let me know in the comments below. And if you don't already, please throw us a subscribe. We drop a video every week. And check out our Discord link below, as well as the merch that we're selling on our website. Thanks for watching.